Tantor with a recap of Georgia Tech's 21-6 loss versus Virginia Tech. The Battle of the Techs, and Tech lost. Basically, the better team won. Georgia Tech got its tail kicked, completely dominated by Virginia Tech, and that's it. That's all I can put. So if you don't want to listen to the rest of it, I completely understand, because it's just another week more of the same. No Haynes King, no Kyle Efford on defense. I knew Georgia Tech was going to lose when Kyle Efford couldn't make it. I thought we would move the ball. I thought Georgia Tech would move the ball against Virginia Tech. They did not at all. Defense played better, though. We'll just get right into it. Pyron started at quarterback. Pyron did not move the offense. So in the third quarter, Philo replaced a benched Pyron at quarterback. Philo did not move the offense. Now, he did hit some big passes, but they did not score. All 6 points were quarterbacked by Pyron. So let's just get it right there. The offense was more effective under Pyron, and it still wasn't any good. All right. There's no other way of putting it. Georgia Tech was outplayed and lost. We'll go with what I liked and what I didn't like. We'll stay with that setup. When we opened up the game, the offense was getting the ball to the tight ends, and I really like that. We incorporated the tight ends into the game plan for all of 5 minutes, and it was effective. We went away from it, and basically the passing attack was completely inept the rest of the game. All right, Singleton did have one big catch from Philo, but we didn't score on that either. Hey, I've been crapping on special teams now for about 2 months. We kicked 2 field goals. We could actually kick a field goal. And on top of that, we blocked a field goal. So I liked that part of special teams. I didn't like the return part of special teams, where we got so lucky when Shelley did not touch that punt, but he acted like he was going to. We couldn't field punts today, and we couldn't cover punts. Virginia Tech had a big punt return that set up that we ended up blocking a field goal on. That was a weird one. So that, yeah, they were part of special teams that I liked. How about that? That's a new one. So I'll give them credit. The snap, the hold, and the kick were all good. And I haven't said that all season long, so congratulations. That was good. I like the cornerbacks. Cornerbacks had a big game today. They played very, very well. They came up and made tackles when the pass was in front of them. They made those tackles. They made tackles on runs. They defense passes. The cornerbacks had a good game. I mean, 4, 3, 16, all had real good games in the secondary. And hey, the first time all season I'm saying this also, the defensive line were the stars of the game for Georgia Tech. They played great, especially 32 and 9. They were in the Virginia Tech backfield the entire game, putting pressure on the quarterback, had a couple sacks. I bet we had at least I didn't track it. I bet we had at least a dozen tackles behind the line of scrimmage by the D-line today, and they were just plain good. Our defensive line was really, really good, and they held Virginia Tech to 21 points because Virginia Tech was dealing with short field a lot. We had a lot of mistakes. We'll get to that, what I didn't like. But Virginia Tech played on a short field and should have put up a whole lot more on us than they did. But the defense played very, very well with that. On offense, what I liked just one play. I like 2 plays. I like the long pass to Singleton. When Singleton's out there, I think you need to stretch the defense and let it fly, man. And we only did that one time. 87. He had a catch on the sideline where he got his foot down and reached out and grabbed it on a pass that was really inaccurate. Man, he brought that ball in. That was awesome. So I like that. Showed good hands. All right. What I hated a lot, I was keeping stats on mistakes, basically. We had 3 huge drops from our wide receivers and tight ends, and they were huge catches that were not made and caused us to stop momentum and stop drives, and that's huge. Each one of those plays would have been first downs, and that just did not happen. We had 2 interceptions. Each quarterback threw an interception. Missed tackles on defense. Now, the missed tackles on defense is defense and special teams. I had 13 missed tackles. Most of them were by the linebackers and the safeties. And it allowed for some big plays. That combined with, we haven't been able to cover a tight end since Paul Johnson left. So I don't know why we can't, but we can't cover a tight end. And that's how Virginia Tech moved into scoring position, and the quarterback scored 2 touchdowns, and the tight end got another one. That hurt. That otherwise marred an excellent game by the defense. So the defense played really, really well. But there's just a few mistakes there, and allowed Virginia Tech to put some points on the board. And since our offense was basically inept, that's it. That's game. Pre-snap penalties. How many times we start out 1st and 15? That's on coaching, guys. It's on coaching. We came out from a kickoff at halftime and had a 5-yard penalty for delay of game. God, I can't even explain that shit. All right, I can't explain that shit. I'm not mad about losing because we got outplayed. Seeing the same crap of coming out of timeouts and getting delay of games against Notre Dame, coming off a kickoff where you know you're getting the ball and you get a delay of game. What the hell is going on? All right. Get down to what I just can't stand is that the O-line, and this is why I think we lost, the O-line got destroyed by Virginia Tech's defensive line today. And it was just a mess. We couldn't run the ball. There were no holes there to run the ball. The defensive line was in our quarterback's face and hitting our quarterback consistently, and we were getting sacked. It was a mess. And when your quarterback doesn't have time to throw, they don't have confidence, especially when you're starting backup quarterback. Got to give them a little bit of time, keep them clean. Don't want them to get the yips. And quite frankly, to me, it looked like Pyron got the yips. So they pulled him, and they put in the 3rd string guy, Philo. Philo, he's got a nice arm, man. He can really spin that ball. But I noticed he's got this, I won't call it sidearm. That's bad. But I call it short arm. Short arm delivery, which caused a couple passes to be batted. And that is a problem that has to be addressed. But he's got a nice arm. He can spin it. But, guys dropped his passes too. So guys dropped Pyron's passes, guys dropped Philo's passes, and it made them look bad with that. Neither quarterback was accurate. I think a lot of that is where they can't step through into throws and deliver the ball on target. And I think that's an offensive line fault. We were 2nd and long, 3rd and long from pre-snap penalties and from sacks and from tackles for loss on running plays on first down. So we threw a whole lot more today than we usually do, and I'm always got to throw more, got to throw more. Good God, our defensive line sucked. Our offensive line sucked. Defensive line was good. Take that back. Defensive line was good. Offensive line sucked. That caused a lot of problems and forced us to throw long. It allowed Georgia Tech's defensive line to sit there and throw the ball, just rush the passer and just beat up our quarterback continuously. That led to a lot of bad throws. And these bad throws, we couldn't move the ball. All right. I didn't like the offensive play calling. We had a 4th and 1 in the first half. Went for it. Didn't get it because it was a dive up the middle and we lost 1 or 2 yards on it. It was just bad blocking on the play. But anybody that's been watching this game saw that we could not block the front 6 of Virginia Tech. And they were putting a safety down in the box. We couldn't block this May 7. We couldn't block their front 7. They were in our backfield continuously. So it was just exercising futility, our offense was. And that's the best way I can put it. Offense today, exercising futility. Neither quarterback played well. Right? Pyron had some numbers. He had a better completion percentage. Philo had more yards, both through interceptions. Neither one of them really moved the offense, and one of them only got us into position to kick 2 field goals. Neither scored touchdowns. The offense was horrible. And Virginia Tech put together a game plan. They were able to watch what Notre Dame did against us, did the exact same thing, and shut our ass down. So we have a bye week next week. So we have a week to do film study on us to see what the defenses are doing against us, because I guarantee you Miami will do the same thing, and find a counter to it. And let's hope Haynes King gets better, because he's got to be elusive back there, and the O-line, guys, you got to come through. All right, so bye week next week. We've got to do better. We got a lot of work to do as usual. We got 3 games left. We got to win 1 to make it to a bowl game. All right, so until we play Miami, we'll see you there against Miami right there on that day. Tantor out. This is for Tantor recap, and we're going to start with Charlie's favorite thing, because my cameraman, producer, and all-around technical director has decided, he said, screw this, I'm going to go hang out with friends and watch MMA. So